Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're delving into something pretty significant, a decision that's really making waves across French rugby and, well, internationally too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're focusing on the French captain, star scrum half Antoine Dupont, and specifically what's being called his very intelligent decision about his recovery.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because it's more than just him getting back on the pitch.
Right.
It kind of speaks to that whole balance,
Yeah.
the pressure to play versus, well, looking after yourself long term, athlete welfare.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack all of that, look at the injury itself, his rehab journey, which sounds pretty intense, and then really dig into the impact, his absence, what it means for the big games coming up.
And beyond that too, right?
Oh.
Like the next generation of players.
Yes. We'll touch on the emerging talent because, like we always say, the game keeps moving. This whole thing is a great way to look at the future of scrum halves. Okay, before we properly get stuck in, just a quick reminder, make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession wherever you get your deep dives. You don't want to miss these discussions.
Worth doing.
So let's start with Dupont himself. The man's usually everywhere on the pitch, but he's been sidelined now for, what, 5 months?
5 months, yeah. Which feels like ages for a player like him.
He really does. And the injury, oof, a ruptured cruciate ligament in his right knee.
Yeah, that's a big one. Happened in that pretty brutal Six Nations game against Ireland back in 2025.
I remember watching that. You could almost hear the collective gasp across France, just the thought of him being out.
Devastating at the time. But what's really interesting now, the kind of the core of this intelligent decision idea, is how he's approached the rehab.
Tell us about that.
Well, it hasn't been rushed. That's the key thing. He spent 2 solid weeks over in Switzerland at the Hôpital de la Tour in Marin.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that place. Top sports medicine center, right.
Exactly. World-renowned. And Toulouse, his club, they put out a statement saying he followed a, quote, structured and intensive program designed for an optimal return.
Optimal, not just quick.
Precisely. It's about rebuilding properly, not just patching him up. He's back at Toulouse now at Stade Ernest Wallen, carrying on with that high-level rehab. It shows real foresight.
And he's actually spoken about it himself, hasn't he? That reinforces this whole long-term idea.
He did, yeah. Talked to Lick Kippy last month. Made it really clear he wasn't going to rush.
What did he say exactly?
The key quote was something like, "I will be 8 months on from my injury. I think it's a reasonable amount of time. I'm not sure it would be very intelligent to rush, even if it's hard to miss international games."
Even if it's hard to miss international games. Wow. That takes some discipline, putting your health first like that.
It really does. Speaks volumes about his maturity. And he added something else, too, about his career.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "I still have a few years of my career left in knees. I only have 2, one of which is already badly damaged."
Whoa. That's pretty stark.
It is. But it's that kind of pragmatic thinking, at the absolute peak of his game. It really sets a standard for player welfare in such a tough sport.
He's thinking years ahead, not just weeks or months. It's a powerful message for younger players, too, surely.
Definitely. Sometimes the bravest call is the one that looks after tomorrow.
Okay, so that's the personal side, the intelligent decision for him. But what about the knock-on effects for the teams?
Well, yeah, that's the flip side. His decision, while smart for him, has some pretty big consequences right now.
For Toulouse first.
Yeah, he'll miss the start of their top 14 season. That's a huge blow for them, trying to get off to a strong start.
And internationally, that's the big one for many fans.
Absolutely. He's out for France's November tests. And we're talking South Africa, Fiji, and Australia. Big opponent.
That South Africa match, that feels particularly significant.
Immense.
Yeah.
It's the first time France will play the Springboks since that World Cup quarterfinal in 2023.
Still hurts just thinking about it for French fans, I bet.
You bet. So November 8th, Stade de France. No Dupont. That's the headline. How does Gulfi, the coach, handle that? Tactically, emotionally?
Huge questions. It's a massive void, obviously. Replacing a player like Dupont is, well, almost impossible, isn't it?
You can't replace him like for like, no. But, French rugby has depth. There are guys ready to step up.
So who are we likely to see wearing number 9 for Les Bleus in November?
Well, Maxime Luque is probably the front runner. He stepped in during the Six Nations when Dupont was out initially.
Did pretty well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Gulfi seems to trust him. So he's likely the starting choice, provides a steady hand.
But there are others in the mix, too.
Oh, for sure. Nolan Lagerrick, remember him? Started all 3 tests against the All Blacks in New Zealand.
That's a massive ask for a young player. Shows a lot of faith.
Exactly. He brings maybe a bit more spark, perhaps, different style. And then you've got Baptiste Jeannot and Thibaut Delbagne, who've had time off the bench.
So there's depth there.
There is. It's a tough situation losing Dupont, no doubt, but it's also a huge opportunity for these other guys to really stake their claim on the international stage.
Yeah, fascinating to see who grabs it. And this whole situation, it gets you thinking, doesn't it? Like, for you listening, what are your thoughts on a player putting long-term health first, even if it means missing massive games? And how do you reckon these replacements will go? Can they fill those incredibly big shoes, even collectively?
Be interesting to see.
Different dynamic for the team.
Definitely. So moving beyond just the immediate impact, Dupont's whole approach, his level of play,
Yeah.
it sets such a high bar, doesn't it? He's become the benchmark.
Absolutely. He's the gold standard for scrum halves right now.
Yeah.
And you can see his influence, even while he's injured, kind of shaping things.
How so?
Well, look at the chat around emerging talent. You've got Bryn Hall, former Crusader scrum half, saying he genuinely believes the All Blacks' Cam Roigard can reach Dupont's level internationally.
High praise indeed. Huge praise. Suggests Roigard has that same sort of X factor. You know, speed, smarts, game-breaking ability.
And it's not just players already at that top level, right? There's talk about younger guys, too.
Yeah, this Hashim Peed. Heard about him? The scrum half from the U20 World Championship. Real hot prospect.
What's the story there?
Apparently, the word is he's already smashed some of Dupont's records at that age grade level.
Wow. Okay.
So it just shows you, doesn't it? The talent pipeline is strong, and players are being inspired by guys like Dupont to push those boundaries even further. It's like a cycle of excellence.
A virtuous cycle, yeah. And this all just underlines how connected the whole rugby world is, doesn't it?
Totally. You think about one player's decision, like Dupont's, and it ripples out. Across national teams, Argentina, England, South Africa, Australia, across clubs Bath, Saracens in the Premiership, Leinster, Stormers in the URC, Crusaders, Waratahs in Super Rugby.
All linked through the big tournaments, too. World Cup, Six Nations, Champions Cup.
Exactly. And a decision like this, it affects player welfare thinking, scouting, even how opposition teams plan. It really shows how interconnected everything is. Player health, strategy, global success. It's not just about one guy's knee.
It's the whole ecosystem. Really fascinating stuff. We hope you're finding these insights valuable, by the way. If you want more deep dives like this, analyzing the big stories in rugby,
You know what to do.
yeah, hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession wherever you listen. It helps us keep doing this.
Please do.
So just to kind of wrap up what we've discussed today, we've looked closely at Antoine Dupont's decision, widely seen as very intelligent, to prioritize his long-term career.
Putting his health first, even though it means missing huge games.
Right. But in doing that, he's setting a really strong example for player welfare. And we've also touched on those exciting talents coming through, aiming for that high bar he's set.
Shows the future's bright, even with stars sidelined sometimes.
Absolutely. And this whole thing leaves us with a big question, really. One for you to think about.
Yeah.
In this high-pressure world of elite sport, how do we strike that balance between the immediate need for stars to play and the long-term well-being, the career longevity of the athletes themselves?
It's a constant tension, isn't it? In every sport, really, but especially in one as physical as rugby.
It really is. We'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts on all this. Connect with us. Let us know what you think about Dupont's decision, what it means for France, for player welfare generally.
Yeah, share your opinions.
And one last time, don't forget to subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more discussions like this.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.